Stoicism has become popular again in recent years. It offers guidance and wisdom for finding peace, strength, clear thinking, and overall happiness. As more people become interested in Stoic philosophy, more people are also searching for help on how to begin learning about it. However, Stoic philosophy can be challenging for beginners to understand. The writings from ancient Greece and Rome can be difficult to understand. The philosophy itself has many different ideas and practices. Some people wrongly think that Stoicism teaches you to be passive and without emotions. I want to help you understand the basics of a philosophy that has helped many people, including myself, over the past 2,000 years. A brief history of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism was developed around 230 BCA by a man named Zeno of Citium. In a book called Lives of the Eminent Philosophers, written by Diogenes Laertius, Zeno is described as being thin, having long features, and having dark skin. He was even called an Egyptian vine by someone. Zeno was a person who sold things and traveled by boat on the Ionian Sea near Athens. He got stuck and ended up on land after his boat crashed. When he arrived in Athens, he started studying philosophy with a teacher named Crates. Afterwards, he remarked that it was fortunate for him to have been pushed toward philosophy due to the shipwreck incident. He learned about philosophy for almost 20 years with different teachers until he started teaching his own philosophy under the painted porch in the busy city of Athens. The porch, also known as a stoa, is where the Stoics got their name. The people of Athens liked Zeno a lot. They trusted him so much that they let him control the city walls, and they gave him a golden crown and a bronze statue to show their respect. The Stoics have goals they want to achieve. The main aim of Stoic philosophy was to help people live a good and moral life and to feel happy in a strong and lasting way. This kind of happiness is called eudaimonia by the Stoics. To achieve true happiness, a person needs to follow a few basic principles. The Stoics thought that being a good person is important for feeling happy and satisfied. They worked on developing qualities like wisdom, courage, fairness, and self-control, characteristics that we will talk about in the following part. Living in harmony with nature, everything in the world follows a logical order, and everything is connected to the same universal nature. To be truly happy, we must learn to accept ourselves and live peacefully with ourselves and the world around us. Accepting fate means understanding that there are many things in life that we cannot control. No matter how much we wish for things to be different, what has happened and what is happening will still occur. So let's agree to it and figure out what we have power over. Then, we can concentrate on those things and put in our best efforts. The 4 Stoic virtues. Developing a strong sense of right and wrong is very important in the Stoic way of finding happiness. If we act in ways that are bad and unfair and hurt ourselves or other people, we might feel sad, guilty, sorry, or embarrassed. As time goes on, this will ruin the base we need to create a good life. If we behave in a virtuous way, we are following a way of life that we believe is good and ethical. By doing this, we can create a strong mental state and have a positive life. To assist us in life, the Stoics identified 4 important qualities: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom means having smart ideas and knowledge. People think wisdom is the most important virtue out of the 4. Critical thinking is our ability to comprehend the world and our role in it, and use that knowledge to make wise choices on how to behave. The first part of wisdom is knowing and believing that being good is the most important thing. Everything else is not important or not favorable. Indifferent things are stuff that neither good nor bad, like money, power, pleasure, or possessions. While many of these items can be used to help or harm, they are not inherently good or bad. Examples of the bad include doing unfair and wrong things, like being greedy, lazy, hurting others, tricking or stealing from them, and more. Secondly, being wise means being able to understand what we can and cannot control. We will talk about this more later, but knowing what we can control and what we can't helps us avoid getting frustrated. It also helps us concentrate on things we can actually do something about. Thirdly, we have explained how crucial it is for the Stoics to live in harmony with nature. If we don't understand the world and our place in it, it will be hard for us to stay true to ourselves and get along with it. For instance, the universe is always changing. If we cannot understand that change is something that happens naturally, then it will be harder for us to accept and may even reject when things change around us. This can make us unhappy. Courage means being brave and facing difficult situations without fear. According to the Stoics, courage means being able to face tough challenges and difficult situations without any fear or doubt. Often, we may feel scared, unsure, or doubtful, but being brave can help us do what we believe is correct, following our principles and beliefs even when faced with obstacles. Courage means having the strength and resilience to deal with pain, both physical and emotional. In simpler terms, this means enduring discomfort without losing hope and feeling despair. To be brave, the Stoics suggest that we should accept uncomfortable situations and confront our fears instead of running away from them. By facing and overcoming our fears, we learn that we can handle them and make progress. This helps us feel more comfortable, and our fears no longer control us. According to the Stoics, we all have a responsibility to ourselves and to the people around us. If we don't have the bravery to do what is right, be good, and work with the world we live in, our ability to do our duty is limited. Justice is the idea of being fair, treating everyone the same, doing what is right for others, and doing what is best for the community. Justice means treating people with kindness and empathy. It reminds us that we are all connected and have a responsibility to contribute to society. Justice is not only about punishing those who do wrong, but also about understanding that our actions can be categorized as right or wrong when we consider moral values. Justice is when we make sure to do the right thing not only for ourselves, but also for the people around us. We are in charge of how we behave, and what we do has results. Like bravery, justice means doing what is right, even when there are temptations to do otherwise. In this situation, treating someone fairly means being fair to them, even if you have had problems in the past. It also means not giving special treatment to a friend if you have authority over them. Temperance is about having self-control and moderation. It means not going to extremes or being excessive in our actions or behaviors. Temperance means being able to control ourselves and control our actions, even when we really want something or when we feel greedy or impulsive. The Stoics believed that it was very important to have control over oneself and to not give in to desires or emotions. They believed that if we don't have these traits, our impulses will make us choose what we want more than doing what is right, and this will move us farther away from a happy and successful life. The concept of control. There are a lot of things we can do in Stoic philosophy to make our lives better and happier. I will not talk about all of them in this article because it is meant to be a basic overview. However, I will mention the ones that I think are most important. The concept of control is divided into two parts, which I think is one of the most important. Epictetus said that in life, there are only two types of things we can control and things we can't control. Sometimes we have the power to affect something, but affecting it is not the same as having complete control over it. He said that we have control over our thoughts, beliefs, actions, and ideas we have before something happens. That is all. Everything else that happens is not something we can control. This includes things like the weather, what other people do, the state of the economy, traffic, and other situations that we cannot change. It also includes the laws of nature that govern how things work. When we know how to control things, we can separate our happiness from what happens around us. This means we can stop the world's ups and downs from determining whether we feel good or bad. Instead, when we pay attention to ourselves and our actions, and we gain knowledge, bravery, fairness, and self-control, as well as behaving in a way that matches our beliefs and values, we create a strong sense of overall happiness and contentment that we have direct influence over. We keep our calm and peacefulness no matter what happens around us. Acceptance and amor fati. The next idea I will talk about in this article is the Stoic belief of accepting things as they are. This means being okay with the present moment as it is, without making any judgments or trying to change the situation we are in. The Latin phrase amor fati, or love of fate, means to accept and appreciate everything that happens in life as a chance to develop and gain knowledge. We can accept the world around us by understanding that there are many things we cannot control, like what other people do, our health, and the state of the economy. Instead of trying hard to change things that cannot be changed, the Stoics believed it is better to accept them as they are and concentrate on areas where our efforts can make a difference. When we learn to be okay with how things are in the world, it can't make us feel upset or harm our overall well-being. We become strong and able to face challenges. The main sign that we aren't okay with life as it is happens when we say words like should. Sometimes we have specific expectations about how things will happen, but many times those things are not in our control. Having expectations can be a good thing because it's natural to be hopeful for good things in our lives. However, if we're not careful, our expectations can make us depend too much on things that will happen in the future and that we can't control. This can lead to suffering. Even when things don't go as planned, we can learn to understand that these types of things happen in life. When we feel pain, we need to understand that it is normal and human. In order to feel happiness, gratitude, love, and enjoyment, we have to accept that we may also experience pain and suffering at times. These two things are closely related or dependent on each other. The idea of amor fati means that we can learn to love and accept the way things happen in our lives. Even though some things may make us feel bad or hold us back, they are still a normal part of life that help us see and appreciate the world in all its beauty and energy. The application of Stoicism. Now, let's see how we can use Stoicism in our daily lives. I think one big reason why Stoicism has been around for so long and stayed popular for over 2,000 years is because it can be useful in everyday life. The Stoics have given us a way to improve our minds and lives right now. Here are a few easy ways to begin practicing Stoicism right away. Focus on the things you can do first, learn to concentrate on the things you can control, and be okay with not being able to control everything. Put all your attention on what you think, feel, and do. Don't stress about stuff you can't control, like the weather, traffic, or what other people think and do. Develop the habit of self-control. The Stoics thought that having self-control is very important for living a good and virtuous life. They said that it is very important to control ourselves, keep trying hard, and not overdo things. This means not going overboard in any aspect of life and being aware of our wants and urges. When we are better at controlling our urges, we become better at stopping ourselves from getting involved in actions that take us farther away from becoming the person we want to be. The Stoics believe that we should try to live in harmony with nature. This means we should live in a way that is in tune with both the natural world and our own human nature. This means looking at life as a whole and understanding our role in the world. It means living a straightforward, truthful, and modest life. Be aware of the present moment and pay attention to what is happening right now. Do not think too much about the past or the future. Mindfulness can help us become more aware and accepting of our thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Mindfulness helps us become aware of our actions and thoughts in the present moment. This allows us to recognize when we are not behaving or thinking the way we want to. Embrace challenges instead of trying to avoid or run away from tough situations. Learn to accept them as chances to mature and build resilience. Pay attention to the things you can change and do something to make the most of any situation. The Stoics thought that challenges are chances to become better and learn new things. Instead of trying to avoid tough situations, we should face them and use them as chances to grow personally and become tougher.